Hello. So what I just did was what I've been doing a lot, or at least what I had to do before, was just to sit in my room or lie in my bed in the dark and just like let things happen. But also like it's like kind of like canoeing in a river where you have to like kind of help, make sure you don't run aground or get flipped over. But at the same time, you're kind of going with the flow. So but then I reached a point where I was just like, I've done this too much. I need to do something. You know, it's weird, but I would. It's weird to just like reach a point where you're like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I have to do something. Because at least I find that I want it to be simple. I want the answers to all be like in one thing. Like I can just lie in my bed and find all the answers. It's kind of like how maybe a psychedelic trip doesn't really answer everything. I mean, it's important, but it's not everything. It's a similar thing. One second, I'm just checking the volume here. But just because there's no volume doesn't mean it's not going to work. Anyway, that kind of caught me off guard. So I decided while I was hitting that kind of wall of like you have to change it up a little right now. I decided to go and do this, which I think is a good thing to do. But I'm still frustrated, kind of sad. I was thinking about how life is pretty hard. Like it's supposed to be harder than American culture makes it out to be. Like there is a lot of simplification. There's a lot of like, oh, just work hard and shit will work out. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, you gotta work smart too. Bustling and rustling outside. I still have enough self-loathing to where like saying something like this, like I just said, like I'm even talking about self-loathing or self-doubt is it's like it's like dragging. It just drags. It's like ugh. It's like stop talking. You're an idiot. But I guess that's part of the reality. It's not all glorified fun shit. I mean, I know I on some level that life is not about reaching the top, as in financially and powerfully, like fame. I guess what I mean. Financial and fame, the top of the American pyramid. It's your own pyramid, your own development, and but that's the thing is you can't. It's not all about one. There's not one answer. Like as much as I like that YouTuber I've been watching, he's good and he allows for like nuance, but I don't haven't heard him say that like you can't just be woke. Like that's one reason that's such a joke. Like it's a serious thing, but it's a joke because you can't just be woke one day. Like oh, I'm awake now. I've seen people like on YouTube comments like saying oh well I'm awake now, and it's like no because you think everything's shitty. That's not being awake. That's just I don't know what that is. I mean it's a delusion, delusion, something like that. I've been there. I had a teacher in college who I credited with waking me up and it was like I didn't know shit. Like I didn't know anything. What was I awoken to? I was awoken to the shittiness that was my own future for a while, I guess. Not even though. I mean, it was really a couple years before. It was similar timing, and I would say the awoke. What happened actually was more like a brainwashing. Honestly, not to take away from him. I mean, he was an important part of my development. Him and Bell Hooks, whose rhetoric he sort of prophesized for us. So yeah, in your pursuit of enlightenment, don't believe that you are completely enlightened. That's actually probably the number one sign that you're getting there. You're like, oh, well, it's actually every day you learn more. You know, any guru, any Eastern spirituality person will be like, yeah, like you don't ever know everything. I guess you can figure yourself out. You can individualize entirely, which maybe would reach a point where you're more chill. But that doesn't mean you're figuring everything out. I mean, it doesn't mean you know everything. You're not a god. Which I think that's something that the emotions, at least for me, the emotional and the intellectual is different. Where I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be a god. Like emotionally, I'm like, oh, so I'm supposed to be a god. That's what I end up as, a god. Where I know everything and do everything and see everything and all that. When really it's like, oh, I'm a human. You make mistakes. I used to think like, think of it as like being between perfection and imperfection. Like that's what humanity is. It's being human. Like there is a perfection in it, but it's not perfectly perfect. So in that way, it is imperfect. I don't know. It's just like it's complicated. Obviously, I'm sure that's not a happy, nice conclusion that you want to come to. It's complicated, but it's true. When I'm trying to, what's the word, impose my own knowledge and wisdom on people, you can't just do that. I used to be, yeah, like one time I was in this group and someone, like a mental health group, and this guy was like, oh, he was complaining about something or something, and the task fell on me, I guess, as a practice to tell him, like, help him. And I was just like, I can't because it's like, it's personal as shit, And they were like, oh, so Danny has a secret sauce. He won't tell us. They're like joking. They're like making fun of me. And it was like, do you guys just know what you're saying? Like, I'm literally just saying, like, I can't just connect to his mind and tell him everything's going to be fine because blah, blah, blah. And just, like, inject my knowledge and wisdom about insights and stuff into his mind. I can't do that. Words don't cut it. Like, that's a big thing for me, too. Words. Like, getting down to the metaphysical thing. Like, words. There's a big gap between reality and words. But the words are so powerful that at least I have in the past taken them so seriously. And just, it helps, it really just mixed me up. Like, in terms of, like, it didn't help me, I guess. It helped, but it also didn't help. That's another unpleasant conclusion. Like, it's both. But, so I'm still figuring shit out, obviously. I'm not able to impart my views on life because my mind is somewhat still jumbled. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. I guess sometimes you just gotta be sad, and that's okay. But it's annoying to have to say that, like, oh, it's okay. Like, part of me already know. Okay, anyway, I'm not gonna keep going. See you later. God bless.